What's up, Smitty? No, you're not first, D9, but you're really close. Smitty's first. But he got a heads up. I told him that I was going live. But you're the first, probably during the live comment, though. So that you popped up. Let's see here. How you doing, Xeno Saga? I'm doing well. How about you guys? How's everyone else? Let's see. Result of my camera angle and all that. I was taking a shower, guys. Here. Just woke up. Yeah, just woke up less than an hour ago. So there you go. I'm actually looking at some pretty cool stuff. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Double check. I realized that every single time when you guys couldn't hear me is just because the thing wasn't pushed in enough. Okay. Audio sounds excellent on my end. Doing well. That's awesome. But let's see here. So I'm looking at some T classes, actually getting into those. As you guys, a lot of you guys know, I have a T channel. I'm actually legit uploading today on that because I just stayed up pretty late working on editing a video. But I decided, for one, I was just getting too tired to really give my best effort, so I stopped like 3/4 of the way through. It was this. We're talking like 5 a.m. here, and so I was like, yeah, it's done, for now. Because I could have uploaded at that time. If I got it done at like 5:30. It's a really long video. I had to really cut it down. So it's like gonna be a 20-minute video. How you doing, J and K? Oh, Mike is in the weirdest spot. Let's see here. All right, that should be better. Gonna go and do that. All right. I think my door, my other, something open so I can hear outside. There we go. Hopefully that should help. Am I going to the next meetup? I'm hoping to make the next meetup at Zeno, unless there's a already scheduled one that I'm not aware of. But yes, I'm very serious about making my own meetup. I might have said, you know what, I'm not gonna do it if I was able to make this one, but since I wasn't, I was just renewed my kind of passion to do that because I think it'd be a good business experience. I'm trying to start up some businesses and stuff, and what fun is a little project here, It's if I could get I'm not expecting it to be the size of theirs. If I could get like 20 people or something, that'd be awesome. So I'm going to make it local. I'm pretty sure on that. if I don't make it local like Portland, I'm going to make it. I was actually looking at trying to talk to. Hopefully, I can talk to Oregon Freeze-Drying, which is the owner of the Mountain House. We'll see if they're able to do something, and because that's actually local to here. Not like Portland, but they're yeah, they're in Oregon, and they're not so far from here, and it's totally drivable thing from Portland area, completely drivable, and I have some car spots and stuff, so I could take some people. Uh, if we could get 2 cars out there or whatever from the airport or something like that. I'm just starting to think of ideas. But if they can't do something, then we can definitely make our own thing. I was thinking maybe I could otherwise maybe rent out a restaurant or kind of a conference hall because I realized a lot of people want to eat the actual MRE or rations. So, and I also noticed a lot of people didn't like that it was only 1 day event, which I assumed would be the case. There was tons upon tons of people who were like, "Why isn't it 2 days?" So maybe if I can make it a 2 day thing, it's just gonna be really hard coming up with content for 2 days. But considering how it's gonna be a smaller deal because I don't have the kind of money funds that to back up what their kind of project was, so or the yeah, so I mean, otherwise, if I wanted to do like a legit event, I would have to charge everyone, and I don't know if everyone's willing to chip in like $10 or something, but I don't want to make it expensive or anything like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going through ideas right now, planning stage. Not saying it's going to be charged or anything. I'm not really willing to go too deep on anything, but I do want to say one of the things I'm more confident on is that I'm going to make it local unless someone can find me like a really freaking good spot. Like, hey, did you know in Las Vegas you should do it? And then they give a legit reason because someone did mention about doing some stuff in Nevada because they have all the convention centers, but it's just kind of out of my way. And if I'm going to be planning everything, having it convenient and local to me so I can kind of go back and forth. And I mean, Portland's a bigger city and has some awesome stuff, so I don't see why anywhere else would be any. I mean, some places could be better, but I mean, I don't see why it's like not an also good option. Harry Cutter, Tour Championship, and doing some editing. Yeah, how you doing, Playmaker? And you're gonna try out Mixer, Playmaker. It's awesome. Change in as a charge like in money. Uh, I'm not sure what level of context you heard, Tracy, but I'm not saying when to charge for the event, but I mean it's just an option because I'm trying to think of. I'm not trying to necessarily make a lot of money or anything on this. Like I don't want anyone to think like, oh, he's gonna come out with this with like $5,000 or I thought even $1,000. I'm not. That's not my goal. Um, my goal is to actually pay for the event itself and maybe in the future I can make some money on the event, but I don't expect to make anything on this. Like it would just be to cover the fees of renting out convention center or whatever it be. So if like for example I get 10 people and then everyone pays $20, if I get more people then it gets cheaper. By convention I didn't mean rent out convention. I mean rent out like a what you call that? Like a conference room. That's what I'm trying to say, you know, or a restaurant or something like that. I'm just trying to come up with ideas, something that's actually practical. Um, yeah. Yeah, because like what MRE Nation was doing, I mean, at the same time, they're able to spend a lot of money and stuff on their event, but at the same time, they're getting, advertisement through the people. They're getting loyalty through customers and stuff like that. So there's also, it's a, balance for them. They're getting that back basically in loyalty and all that. So, or however you want to phrase it. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's not like they're losing a lot of money from it, whereas I would be, if I were to just take everything up front and pay for it all. So that's why. You said, yeah, that won't fly. What are you referring to, Jesse? I missed the time frame when you dropped that message, so I wasn't sure exactly what you're talking about. You used to watch Super Dave Osborne. What? Oh, it must be some character from a show or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, J and K. Like I'm really hoping on that I can get so many guys, Smitty and Easy Money and some of the guys like that. If you guys, kind of one of the things is once a few people say they're coming, then a few more will say they're coming. So if I don't have anyone like, hey, I'm definitely coming, then it's harder to sell it because nobody has any confidence in the event. So that's one thing I need to do is get some people on board. They'll be there if I do actually get Oregon freeze dry. Oh right, Tracy. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day they still have some like level of things that come back because I mean up front, yeah, they lose a lot more than they take in, but at the same time that's a lot of advertisement, big advertisement for them. So I don't want to make it sound like that's not my point, that it was their motive per se, because I'm sure they very much love the event. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that for me, if I were to drop $1,500, because it's not as cheap as it might sound. Like it just depends. So I'm throwing out different numbers, is it because it depends on the venue. If it's like a hotel, it could easily be $1,500 if it's like a dozen people coming. Because you have to pay for the catering and all that stuff. So what I'm saying is, if I were to just take that up front, that's a big, that's all comes on me if I don't charge anything. Otherwise, there's other ways to go about making it. Like there are some places that could be pretty much virtually free to do it. Like a park or something. But I'm trying to think of ideas. Okay, so Jesse, Michael, you're saying that you don't think people would be willing to pay like $10 or 30 or whatever it is. I mean, cause no. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure how else to do it if I don't get anything. Cause I mean, it's like that's a big burden on me to have to pay like 1,500 or whatever it be. So I'll have to think that out. Cause I'm getting that's a kind of a consensus that nobody wants to pay because kind of like the precedence that's been set has been, it was free and they give you a bunch of experiences. So I'm going to have to think of some things. All right. I know that's what I'm saying, J and K Noob. Like I wouldn't charge near $100, but it does cost a lot of money. Like when a convention charges $100, people think they're making bank, but they're really not. A lot of times these conventions, like they can charge each person like $50, and at the end of the day, they actually sometimes even lose money. Like I said, with the whole free thing and stuff, that it comes back with like memberships and stuff. Like people, you know, it's not like people think that, oh, they're just banking because they made $10,000 on this convention. $10,000 doesn't even cover their charges sometimes, or whatever it be, you know. Okay, that's why I did mention like the local park. Like, yeah, if I were to do a cookout, type deal, yeah, I could totally spend $200 on some like some like catering service, or I can make stuff with someone else. I can say, hey, who's interested in cooking with me? And yeah, I could get someone to help me cook. You know, because cooking for like 30 people, 50 people, I've done it upon tons of times, but it's a little different when you're grilling and stuff. If you just switch off with someone, then you're good. Or I can pre-make everything and bring it over, whatever, something like that. I can do that. And what, charge $2? Big. Absolutely. There was some shirts and mugs I heard about. Do Patreon. I have Patreon. I've never got a single donation, so I stopped posting it at Playmaker. Because my goal of the Patreon was, I was kind of like, all the stuff I was going to get to Patreon, it was going to be for my channel, but I literally never got a donation, so I stopped talking about it. So I still have it. It's just I've never got a donation. You want hot dogs now? See here. And also, of course, as with any city, there's some top level restaurants around here. Portland. Um, Found out there's actually famous pizzeria near me and stuff and all this, and I'm like, this is awesome. It's like, um, yeah, just coming to realize like what's all here, and it's pretty awesome. And then of course there's Seattle, just a few hours away. So I would imagine if it was just a few people, per probability, if it was like 5 people coming, probably almost no one would go to a Seattle trip. But if there's like 20 people coming or something, I'm sure there's a group of people that would go to Seattle. It's like 3.5 hours. I could even drive there, no problem. I mean, and also there's local transport. Um, the transport in Seattle, Portland is some of the very best in the entire country. So as well, so the public transport is actually practical here. Like buses and stuff in a lot of areas come by every 15 minutes. We're not talking like hour, like a lot of cities, throughout US. It's like once an hour, and it only goes to these streets, and it's like here, you're within like 15 minutes like walk of a bus, and it comes every 15 minutes. So it's actually practical to take. I don't know taking the bus exactly to Seattle how that works, but I haven't looked into that yet. But I'm just saying, because like I only have so many spots in the car, so things like that, whatever, just ideas. I'm not saying, like I said, the charging thing. I'm not saying that I'm doing that or anything like that. Yeah, so Oregon freeze dried. That's like that's what I'm kind of hoping on the most right now. I haven't talked to them yet. I just came up with the idea yesterday. I was like, it's just like, boom. Because I would just I thought about a factory tour in Spaco when I was living in the Carolinas. I was like, well, that's not very far. Maybe I could do something there. And then I moved out here, and I'm just like, well, this is the local thing here. I'm not sure of any other companies offhand that are from this region. Uh, there might be another ration maker of some sort here if I can't get them. And also the other thing though that they're going to oftentimes is kind of like a funny cycle of they're going to want to know how many people are coming, and I have no clue yet, and people aren't going to come until they are on board. So it's kind of a funny thing. So we'll see. I'm just guessing what they're going to want. I haven't done this very much. This is my first time. That's part of the reason why I want to do this. I also want the experience out of it, and also to meet people. And a lot of people couldn't come to that event. And also, I'm in a very different part of the country, so I'm going to be able to include a lot of people who weren't able to go to the other event. Like Jordan J and K Noob. I mean, if he wants to come, which I would suspect. I don't know like the exact context of how it'll be, with his time and stuff. But I would like do my very best. Even I would I would maybe even go out and get him a bus ticket or whatever it needs. It's I would say drive, but it's literally I don't know. It's like a 3 day thing if I do that. So because I like totally would. Well, actually, it might not be as far as I think. Because I was thinking from Seattle and then going to Portland. Yeah, never mind. No, we'll see. Don Frijoles Sea, how you doing? After party at my crib. Huh. Yeah, so that's another idea I had. J and K Noob. I was thinking of again like uh, this would cost money. But I was thinking of big time. I was going to actually host a YouTuber meetup. It just again wasn't the time yet because I had just moved here. So um, I was looking back at July hosting a YouTuber meetup. Not it wouldn't have been anything for ration reviewers. It was for vending machine guys. So I was gonna host all vending machine guys. I was like I already had like plans. I already found some places and stuff, and everyone was willing to split costs, but I just didn't even personally have the money to get out there and do everything. So kind of fell through, and some of the people actually kind of backed out anyway. Like even if things would have worked out, it would have just been maybe just 2, 3. But yeah. So I'm trying to. I'll probably end up doing something with them again, and then met a bunch of vending people. That's a whole different thing. So, but I met some of the vending people. Actually, a ton of them. So I went to an actual convention, and that's kind of where I got the idea in the first place because I was thinking about doing it ration meetup before any announcement for this ration meetup. I had mentioned it like a solid month prior or something like that. So back in like January or whatever it was, because I remember mentioning that, and then they went ahead and mentioned theirs about a month after. Yeah, there could be some ration sellers. Give them a rough estimate higher than subtract. I'm not sure. Oh, I get what you're saying. Give like a high forecast, um, and take away some. Okay, yeah, I haven't really done this before. Like I said, use any travel sites. Yes, Jesse. I mean, I really learned about a lot of the travel sites because I've been all around. So easily took since like 2017. I mean, literally dozens of flights. So yeah, I I've learned this travel sites for sure. And if you're looking for some advice, I can definitely give you some. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, but I definitely could give some advice on that. Is that why you're asking? Yeah, I figure so, Jesse. That they probably have been wanting to do something since I believe it was 2013. I just mean that my point was that I had been. It wasn't because of this ration meetup that I came up with the idea. That was my purpose and point to why I said it was. I thought of that before that because I wanted to make a point that basically I'd been wanting to do this like personally, and then they came up with theirs, and so that was part of the reason why I backed down from mine because I was like, well, with all the planning and me moving and stuff, if I just make it to theirs and then make it to theirs, and I was like, well, I still really want to do mine anyway, regardless. I realized so probably just would have been more willing to wait longer. But I actually want to meet people and I want to give some people some awesome experience. It'd be a really fun thing to do. Like I've never truly hosted a something like that. Just gotta tell them something. I didn't need any, but I'm sorry about that, Jesse. I thought that's why you're asking because I wasn't sure. You're saying did I use any travel sites? I'm not sure what the I'm not sure what you're getting at. Okay, so guys, um J and K. I am planning to check the mail tomorrow, actually. So I plan to get that if I can get it tomorrow because it's kind of like cutting it down to on the time. I think I can, like 90% chance, but if I can't, it'll be like the next day. So oh yeah, I miss some of the messages, Jesse. I try to get most of them, but I do miss some of them. Okay, cool. J and K, do you use those travel sites then? If you're looking for any advice, like I definitely can, give some. I'm not sure exactly to what level you travel or not or whatever, but yeah, I've definitely um been thinking of even talking about how to like travel tips on my on this channel because I've kind of taken out some of the topics that I was thinking about doing on this channel because it's just too many. But I do want this to be kind of like a food travel channel. I don't because I already have three channels. I don't think I want to open a fourth one. Maybe if like some point my channels actually catch on and they start flowing and stuff, and I can get an editor and all that. Maybe I could do a fourth channel. But right now it's like I haven't got my first three up, so I don't want to take on too many more topics. Even though there's tons of topics I would like to take, maybe. Uh, I really love trying new things and all this stuff. So, but there's just too many topics, and I can do a lot of. You can kind of alter things like add aspects of some other thing to inspire another. What I mean by that is like you really love travel. Well, why not eat food in different places? You know, simple. That's a simple version, popular version. But what about like, okay, I like science experiments. Well, I don't want to. I don't have a science experiment channel. So what am I gonna do? Food science experiments, which I'm actually thinking about doing some just basic ones. Like I'm not saying I'm going to do Coke and Mentos, like Coca-Cola Mentos, but I mean that's a possibility. I would have to definitely think of something really creative since it was super popular back in 10 years ago. So I have to be really. I think I'd have to be pretty creative to get a new one to actually be popular. But either way, um, that's just an example of like a food science experiment. I don't have any really other plans on those yet, but I mean, just sometimes you gotta um, adapt something to incorporate something else, and if it's something you like, sometimes it'll show through. And so, the epicenter is Eugene. Okay, actually, Eugene, I love Eugene. It's an amazing city, actually. Um, okay, I would totally be into something in Eugene. That's for sure. Close to your ex. Huh, Tom. Oh, done. ¿Entiendes un poquito de inglés, pero entiendes la mayoría o solo poquito? Really? Dave and Buster's and Red Robin? I'm not sure if they have a Dave and Buster's here, but I haven't checked at all either. Dave and Buster's, Portland. I would assume they'd have Red Robin. Let's see here. Okay, I see one in the Portland area. I'm not seeing. And there. Let's see. It's not really on route, but it is possible. Let's see here. And the other one was Red Robin. So yes, they do have one at least. This might be out of your way. Okay, Red Robin is definitely convenient for you to go to. There's plenty of those. So that one should be zero issue. And also another thing about Eugene is it's the greenest city in the country. And I really love that. And another aspect of it is tons of parks. So there you go, guys. Tons of parks. I missed your idea. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hi, Jordan and Kason. He missed my idea. I'm not seeing the idea. Hold on. Wait, I didn't miss your idea, David. I talked about your idea. Oh, I didn't realize they post videos though. But yeah, I got your idea. Check Seattle. Yeah, I can check Seattle. I've been planning to check that as well. Um, I think, yeah, I think I'm only. Let's see. Yeah, Seattle's close enough where it's actually practical for me, and because like I said, I have to set things up and all that, and I want it to be like practical. And Seattle's has an airport, of course, obviously. Um, Actually, by the way, it's the one that tons upon tons of people use to get to Asia, so that's really awesome. So I'm totally drivable to the airport. That is the actual like straight up correct one for going to like Japan and such. So that's actually where how I went to Japan before. So yeah, it's a that's awesome. I'm excited about that part. For when I go to Asia again. I've been wanting to go back for since before I left. I've already been thinking about how I was going to go back to Asia. Um, I wanted to do like a Vietnam to Myanmar, like as a trip, and also go back to Philippines, Japan. I haven't been to Indonesia, but it's actually a lot more modern than some people might think. I don't know if people realize like Singapore, Indonesia is actually quite modern. Um, then Hong Kong is I've been to China, but I haven't been to Hong Kong. But I plan to actually take Mandarin classes in either like Hong Kong, Taiwan, or something. Because yes, it may not be the main dialect in all regions, but that doesn't mean that they don't have classes. So and then you can still easily get an authentic speaker because it's the same general region. So um, I was actually looking at maybe Shanghai would be the best place for me to learn Mandarin actually because it's actually cheaper. A lot of times, like bigger cities are more expensive, but that is not always the case for learning language. I want to do like 6 months or something when I can. I've had these plans for a pretty long time, and going back to maybe Guatemala or whatever to learn more Spanish and all that. So yeah, cool. Anyway, okay, I didn't realize to the level the epicenter is. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and check them on YouTube, and I will chat with them if I can figure a way to get a hold of them. The epicenter. Like I said, guys, my goal isn't to like make some big profit. My goal is just to cover the fees. Or if I don't cover them all, like not to be like, oh, I just paid like $4,000. You know what I mean? Can't. But if it's like, yeah, I paid a few $100s, then yeah, that's fine. It's a whole nother thing. You know. You want to go to Canada, Smitty? Hey, Jesse. Well, Oregon, Seattle, right next to Canada. There you go. Um, Jesse, if you're going to go to Canada, Vancouver is one of the very most popular places to go in Canada. Toronto and Vancouver is what I like always hear about. Those specific two. Um, I I don't see why like it wouldn't be possible to even go to Vancouver on this same trip. is if you're going to be in Seattle region or whatever, Portland area, then Vancouver is not like super close, but I mean, it could not be too expensive to get a flight there. I mean, I just couldn't imagine, or drive. I'd be willing to drive to Vancouver. That's not even that bad. Let me see. Portland to Vancouver. Drive time. 5 hours and 53 minutes. So basically like 7 hours with gas and all that. Yeah, so 7 hours to get to Vancouver. I mean, 7 hours, like I said, that's like including breaks. No, it's short enough where you pretty much don't need a break at 6 hours. So one gas fill up and two gas fill ups, and that's it. Be done in like 6 hours, 15 minutes then. You'll admit there's some nice places. Well, I know for like China, that's like one of their main places they want to visit in U.S. I mean, I say in U.S. I meant to say in North America, like general North America. That's one of their main places to like to just visit or to move to. Okay, so Smitty and CT are willing to meet you in the back alley of Dave and Buster's at 2 a.m. Dave and Buster's closes kind of late, right? Like 1 a.m. or something. I don't know. Let me see. I'm just making this up. But yeah, they're willing to meet you in the back alley of like in the Bronx at 1 a.m. Yeah, that's where they're willing to meet you. Do you accept, Jesse? You said anywhere, so. Blazing Saddles cookout scene at the meetup. When will it be posted? What is this? Back alley for sure. Guys, we're having a meetup at 3 a.m. in Detroit in a back alley. Alright, does that sound good? But everybody's gonna be there, so don't miss out. Yeah, we're meeting at Gary at midnight. Alright, guys. I know Gary, Indiana. I've been through the area. I mean, I don't know the city, like, but I just know of it, kind of. So anyway, guys, I don't want to make you. Yeah, this. I think this could totally happen. I just need to make a plan that is actually viable, and let's see. And I'll talk to this epicenter people. I was not familiar about them, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and learn. But I'm already familiar with ration stuff, so should be shouldn't be too steep of a learning curve at all. So there you go. Or I should say, hey, wandering veteran, hello. Like my one-liner letter is supposed to say. Hello. How you doing, AK Fabe? Been to the Bronx and born and raised. Jesse will meet us anywhere. Or, his boys anywhere, rather. Or however you want to say it, yeah. AK Fabe, it just depends on the context in which you advertise it. You know, Simpsonville was not like nowhere, nowhere, but I mean, because it was in Louisville area, but like I don't think anyone was planning to go to Louisville. Like that's not a, you know, that's not a place for like, hey, I'm gonna go to Louisville from Canada. You know, it's not your big city. You know, it's not your typical, you know, Orlando, Florida, um, New York, or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily true that no one would come because, I mean, yeah, just depends on the context in which you offer. I don't know what this acronym is. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, to be honest. But okay. Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. A hockey thing. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm out of that loop. They have good prices. Who has good? Oh, the epicenter. Yeah. See here. Do you have a link or something to that, David Lynn? You said they have a YouTube channel. I'm guessing it's a really small channel because it didn't pop up and I don't know about it. Can you type what's the name of their YouTube channel? And then maybe if I type ration at the end or something, or if you know one of their video names, then I can kind of look it up. Yeah, I don't know either. AK fame. Oh right, you're in St. Paul, Minneapolis. People would come there. That's an awesome place to be. That's one of the that's a really awesome place. Yeah, you got the Mall of America there. That's a good sell. The biggest mall in the United States. Now, will that last? I'm not sure. Mall of America though is an attraction in and of itself, not just about the um yeah, it's not a typical mall, so hopefully it stays strong because malls are going down one by one right now. So I hope that does well because I really liked it. But I am a bit nervous, and I think that would actually affect your economy considering how big it is. But either way, like even besides that, I lived in that region for a long time, for years, for a few years. So yeah, absolutely. Someone would totally go out to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities. I mean, that's not as long as it's not during the winter. I think anywhere between April and uh, August maybe would be a good sell. Or it doesn't have to be exactly in there. You know, like it's March and it's a clear month, a clear week or something. Or but you just can't predict that one. But September as well would be, I guess, okay. Whatever. Brian's Epicenter. Thank you. Yeah, just I've never heard of them. Brian's Epicenter. Okay. Oh, so he's not that small either. But I'm seeing like, okay, so he does random stuff too. Oh, okay, yeah. See, I had passed by that guy's channel because I didn't realize that he actually was that because he's a video about convert a Shure 55SH microphone into a desk lamp. So I totally didn't realize I was using a ration channel. But looking at his actual channel, he has a bunch of. Okay, so he does demo stuff, but he also does a bunch of ration stuff. Okay, cool. Well, I will. Yes, Eugene, Oregon. So I would love to try to see if I can make something with him. All those small were. I think you mean smaller malls. I think that was a smaller balls. Yeah, smaller malls are tanking. No, what I mean in general, Jesse, I just meant. I mean that's a solid point. But what I mean is that in general throughout the United States, malls are just crashing in some region, in some areas, like I think more in poor communities actually, like poor like or lower income, I guess, lower income communities. Sometimes they're doing fine, or if it's a mall that's very niche to something, like certain stores are still doing well. Like I've actually seen comic book store that's actually doing well. Believe it or not, like a comic book store, and I saw it in yeah, in California, and I talked to the guys, and they have like a YouTube channel that they started and all that, and something like the Green Machine, something roughly like that. Anyway, I saw some of their content. Anyway, and they're doing fine. They actually started just like a year or two ago, and two veteran guys, and I was like, this is awesome. And so I think they were like Army or something. I can't quite recall. I remember they weren't in the Marines, but either way, the point is, yeah, they just started, and that's kind of a niche thing, and certain things people want to see in person still. Like a lot of people still want a physical book, you know, and it has its benefits. People want a copy they can take anywhere and all that kinds of stuff, you know. So like I'm sure there's some people who still collect cards and all that. I know Pokemon is still big in well, throughout the world actually. I was gonna say Japan because I saw it back in when I was living there. 2011 or 13. I need to go again because that's actually starting to sound a while ago. I'm starting to realize like back in like 2015 when I was like, oh, I was in Japan, a couple years, and now I'm looking at it. It's like 2019. I'm like, ooh, it's actually been a while now. So if I could stay there like a few weeks or something, so I get a solid update, because I think if I like to visit places a little longer. I'm not I mean, not in all cases, but a lot of times I try to really visit a country. I try not to hop too much. What I mean by that is like 3 days this country, 3 days that country. In some of the smaller countries, I think it actually might be fine and practical. I'm talking about for me, personally, because like it totally you travel your style. It's all good. Well, what I mean is relative to me. I like to kind of feel the culture, get the new aspects, see some like hidden details, things you would never hear about as a tourist or those kinds of things. Like I try to actively seek out kind of random experiences like that I wouldn't have think of wouldn't think of. Oh, like when I was in Vegas, I did this kind of smash room. I don't know if you guys know what that is, like a breakables room. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have any of you guys heard about those? I actually have a video on it. I didn't post it, but I have a video of it, and been thinking about making a video on it. They released the footage to us and everything, and someone else put some clips from it. I mean, is that something you guys would be into seeing? I'm not sure. That'd be because it was pretty cool. Um, it was I made it to level 38. I'm guessing that that took like a few hours or something, Smitty, to get to 38. Oh, like Pogo, wasn't that like a whole website or something? Like, wouldn't that have taken a while? I'm not sure. My other channel might be where I can set that topic up. I'm not exactly sure. Can you say what that topic is? Because I'm sorry, like I'm kind of jumping around here. Jesse Michael, hold on, Michael Kenner. Is that your? Hold on, I need to go back. I'm missing some stuff here. Well, here's the thing. It's not actually. Here's a great example. Amazon is, I think 49% of e-commerce. They are half of e-commerce, so they are e-commerce for all intents and purposes. That's like the go-to, right? And so Amazon is even still deciding at the end of the day that they want to have actual physical stores. Even Amazon, like they have their own bookstore in Portland, Seattle. There's an actual bookstore. I went to the Amazon bookstore here. I also went to the Amazon grocery store. I think it was called Amazon Go. It's in Seattle, and basically you just scan. And like even Amazon like delivers groceries, but as far as there's kind of one loop where that final mile thing, that's the biggest cost for any kind of like any type of delivery service at all, because you can ship everything in bulk, but getting doing that like last 20 minutes or whatever to the customer, that's what costs big, because you got just 1,000 different routes that everything's going to. And so anyway, that's one thing that's e-commerce isn't able to quite deliver on. Like you got DoorDash and stuff, which have like unlimited deliveries and stuff now, but at the end of the day, you have to subscribe to those services and you have to pay over X amount of dollars. But sometimes you only want a stapler, and also sometimes you want to browse around a big selection. So it's not that's helping save a lot of stores, and a lot of people don't like to buy things online still. Like they might buy very very little online, or even nothing in the entire year they might buy online. You don't need to buy anything online to get by. So whereas the vice versa doesn't really apply. Like it's possible to buy everything online and not buy anything the entire year. That's totally possible, but it's not very practical. And yeah. So, but with the whole mall thing, a lot of these certain types of stores aren't able to compete, um, because you have there's a new game. What the conventional store is not working in a lot of places. Vegas, see here. You guys keep saying this thing I don't know, but okay. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Could go on another channel and retail apocalypse and store topics. Rather than the armory topic. Okay. 9 views at the same view count. Be careful. Your viewers rewatching your videos is not a bad thing at all, guys. That's a good thing. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Smitty. Like that's perfectly fine if one of your viewers watches your videos 10 times. You'll see that commonly with music channels. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. That's not. Yeah, that's not bad at all, guys. Like, I don't know why you think that would be bad. That someone rewatches your videos, it's an extremely good thing. It actually still helps. Um, yeah, because I mean, like, you got Gangnam Style. That replay value that's in a lot of videos, like with music. That's part of the reason why they get so popular in the first place because especially like when people rewatch it, they're more likely to have it in their mind and talk about it to other people and those kinds of things. So it's definitely a good thing. I might go to David Buster's for a while later on. Like, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Jesse Michael, I think I went there like, because like I went to, what was it called? Revolution 1. And they have all these Japanese sauce machines, so I was like extra excited about that. But I went to Dave and Buster's last like something like 2016, and it was pretty good. But I went to Revolution 1 or called something extremely similar to that. I went to that maybe 3 times, 4 times since 2015. Why do I mention 2015? Because that's when I got out the service, just for reference. So that's why. So that's like a big kind of my life change point. Alibaba, yeah, but Alibaba is kind of like more bulk, cheap. So that's it definitely has its own group of people who buy. Like a lot of people who buy from Alibaba resell on it's called a retail arbitrage. They resell on other platforms. You know, of course, the main ones, but also they'll sell on like they could even sell at home or whatever. Because on the generic truth, not in all cases, but in the vast majority of cases, is that when something's yours, it's yours to sell. When it comes to commercial level, sometimes it's not true, but generically, it's yours to sell. When it comes to like controlled substances, of whatever sort, sometimes you can't. Like just specific things, or like you might have a limit, like a threshold of how much you have to sell before you get a license and these kinds of things. So it's not exactly true that you can sell anything that you own, but generically, it's the truth. I've looked a lot into retail arbitrage, and that's what Alibaba is a lot of. That's also kind of goes into like people getting stuff from the dollar store, or another one, guys. This is gonna blow your mind. Taco Bell packets. Taco Bell hot sauce packets are they're I think they've probably been saturated now, but because like you can totally buy those on Amazon or whatever. So people will like literally pick up like 20 packets of hot sauce when they're there. Just grab a big handful and like sell it online and get like $5. And so they'll just like go to Taco Bell because it basically pays for itself. Like for real. So it's funny because people really love those, especially since they have the cool gimmicky like statements and stuff. So And then there's certain like ones that say certain things and they'll sell for better maybe. You might be able to sell a specific packet if it has like a rare message or something, but I mean that's pretty niche of course, but at the same time like people are making money on it. Huge arcade slash Mexican restaurant. Casa Bonita. I don't know this one, but you know, I will tell you one thing about Mexican restaurants. The kind of funny thing is that they actually do well with arcades. It's like I was a little surprised at first, but I understand why now. It makes sense. But yeah, in general, Mexican restaurants tend to be good for vending businesses. And by the way, arcade machine is a vending machine. Just reference. I kind of use that interchangeably. So in that, but yeah, they are all our arcade machines since they accept money, even if it's digitally, it's still still counts as a vending machine because it's an automated process of accepting money for a good or service, basically. Actually, AKFAB, a lot of the arcade machines are not owned by the Mexican restaurants. I don't think it's the. I think the more common case is it's that people come and bring the machines because they have a upkeep. They have an upkeep and all that, and so that's actually typically not done by the Mexican restaurant, AKFAB. Whereas sometimes they'll get a commission on it, like a 10% or something, because a lot of times like they'll have like these entryways, with the second door, which is partly like a hygienic thing, is why a lot of restaurants have that. The double doors helps a lot with flies and all that kinds of stuff, but those tend to be kind of blank, and so that's a great spot to put a machine. Not that it's always the case where they put it, but that's typically the best. And yeah, it's typically not actually owned by the restaurant. Even if it's just a simple gumball machine, a lot of times that's not owned by the restaurant. But yeah, things like tortillas cost like nothing because it's the labor a lot of times is what costs in a restaurant. That's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, and then of course there's a lot of waste because sometimes customers will send things back or things will get dropped, and with hygienic codes, you can't reuse things and all that. So there's a lot of waste in restaurants, and that is another big loss as well. Of course, there's other ones and stuff, electricity, whatever. But yeah. View minutes. By the way, David Lane, it goes by hours, not as far as that goes, David. I mean, it's still the same thing. It's just times 60, but it's 4,000 watch hours is what it generally goes by. For me, I'm hoping to hit halfway at in a couple weeks. So, of course, halfway as far as the watch hours, and as you get bigger, the getting the watch hours gets a little faster and a little faster. But my videos haven't been doing very well at all the last few days. My last people are not liking the Mexican snack videos. Like, I mean, the people who watch them are, but I mean, just going by views, the statement made by the views is that they're not popular. Now, I didn't upload the best times, so That could be a major reason why, but they're not getting the views. Anyway, I'm still uploading 2 more of them anyway. I got 2 more in that, so I got 5 videos total. So let's see here. Yeah, like my last one got 36 views, guys. So it didn't do very well at all. I think that's my lowest viewed video since for like a year. No, I'm sure it'll pop up a little bit, but yeah. Going to Aladdin's. Yeah. So AKFAB, it's not always that there's a commission, but it's a common practice for like 10% or whatever. Sometimes it's of the gross or sometimes it's of the net. So it just depends on the context, the agreement between the two parties. But the vending machine companies can never lose too much because there's not a high um, there's not a high profit margin because you have to consider transport. And as soon as you consider transport, that profit margin just goes down because a lot of vending machine companies also can't get enough bulk to actually get those truly low prices. Because if you own only 100 vending machines, which sounds awesome, but only maybe 30 of those machines are going to use this specific product, and you don't have enough to machines to actually um, get like the bulk of like you have to buy maybe 100 cases of something or whatever, and by the time you got through those cases they're going to start expiring, so you're not going to even make that extra profit. So um, and a lot of vending machine companies aren't as huge, though there are of course gigantic ones, 10,000 machines or whatever, but a lot of times that's not the case. And one person can only service, I don't know exactly what the limit is, and it depends on the route and stuff, but they can only service maybe 200 machines. So I'm just making up a number here. It's kind of hard to say. Like, I've seen what some people do. A lot of people say they don't want to handle 100 machines, and then some people are like, well, I do 200 by myself. So it just kind of depends on the route and how much time the person has. But if you don't have the time, like if you have a second business and you're trying to service 100 machines, it just doesn't work. So you have to then pay for labor, and labor of them driving 30 minutes to get to a machine, it then becomes completely void of any profit. So, or even 30 minutes, it can become void of profit because if it's not doing really well and it's 30 minutes away and you just paid, you know, $5, $8 to an employee plus 10% commission plus the products, you've literally lost all your profit. So, this depends. You're not getting notified when I upload. A lot of people say hit the bell, hit the bell, like re-hit it, because what happens is this, like a lot of people say they're just not getting it, but a lot of times like in all reality, like you're not going to watch every video someone uploads, and as soon as you miss a few notifications, you know, for example, that's one reason why they say don't upload more than once a day. Is not just is actually not because well, the main reason is just that you're going to over saturate yourself in the sense like people are going to say, "Hey, I'm busy this weekend, right?" Or not. They're not gonna say it, but I mean they're going to be busy Friday through Sunday. You uploaded 2 videos a day, 6 videos, and then YouTube's gonna be like, "Oh, they're not interested because they missed 6 videos." Rather than saying, "Oh, it's only been 3 days per YouTube." No, it's been 6 videos. So, if for example you were to miss a couple days, then the bell can get unclicked. Or it might be clicked, but it might not be actually working. And so a lot of people say that, and I think that's really the more common case is just if you miss a few videos, then boom. And I also had been uploading them pretty late, so I think that definitely hurt. And then I tried to premiere on one of them, and I tried it just in case, and it is correct that premiere videos don't do so well because what happens is this: as soon as the live is done, typically not so many people are gonna watch it. People watch the live when it's live, and it seems like premiere is kind of the same case. It stops getting pushed as soon as it's over, and so you have a video that's collected its main portion of its views while on Premiere. So I don't think I'm doing Premiere anytime soon. I think that if I were to maybe advertise it a day prior or something, maybe it would have done much better. Now the one I premiered was the one before this current one, and I don't plan to upload until Monday or Tuesday. But either way, I actually have a bunch of video, guys. I actually filmed the Spanish one. I just haven't got it up yet. The Spanish ration. So I have filmed it now. Goodbye, Jesse. See ya. Best friend needs a jump. Oh. Their car needs a jump, okay. Aladdin's castle. It's interesting. View loop a few of someone's videos. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, David, but I think what you're trying to say is if you watch someone's videos multiple times, I think that's okay. I just don't know if that really helps that much, if at all. Like, it's kind of the sense of bringing loyalty to the person. Like, someone who watches your videos multiple times, they're getting more interested and they're going to start getting more kind of like involved in your content because of the kind of I think it's kind of more of a mental aspect rather than a but I have heard to some extent I do think that it can help somewhat, but I mean if you're not leaving a comment or anything like that, like I mean, I don't know if that's really helping. If you're just watching and just rewatching, I don't know. But if it's like you start talking to people and stuff or that kind of thing, that's a whole nother story. What I'm saying, AK Fave, is basically like it kind of I believe it kind of resets the bell when you unclick it and reclick it. Now that's just kind of a theory, and a lot of people say it, but I don't really know if it's true. But it makes sense that reclicking it should renew it, refresh it per se. So just be careful that when you reclick it, you're making sure you reclick it properly, like it went through. You know that your computer didn't freeze or something a little bit, because then you might have just forgot about someone. Yeah, so that'd be funny, like in a ironic way, type of funny. I think it only counts it as a new view the first time. What I'm saying is, also, a lot of times when you watch something, you might only watch like 5 minutes out of the seven, and then if you rewatch it, maybe maybe it gets the full 7. Sure. I'm gonna look this up, but I don't think the watch time counts twice. If you're to watch twice, and like to some extent, it does understand like the person's not leaving a comment like that. You just walked away. It's not necessarily. I've heard of several times like people who just play a playlist and then don't comment. But if you guys do want to help me like on my watch time, I have a playlist right there, right in the description, guys, right in the description. And if you watch my videos, like with even say like even like 4 of you guys were to watch all my videos, you guys gotta leave some comments and stuff, but watch them or like give some interaction and stuff, and then I can get my watch hours because like think about it, 4 times what like I have like 100 hours of content, 80 hours of content maybe, like whatever it is. I don't know. I just made up a number because like I know I have like 120 videos, but a lot of my videos are not near an hour. So let's just say I have 50 hours of content, right? And 4 people. I mean, just a couple hundred hours, dude. And I only need 4,000. So like, if I get like 400 people who do that and give me a couple hundred more hours, that gets me like a few percent more closer, and that means like I could maybe get there like 5 days sooner, or I'm sorry, not 5 days. I could get there like, you know, maybe even a week or 3 weeks sooner, depending on, got like 10 people to do it, 10 times 50 is, we're talking 500 hours. That's actually a real chunk. That's 1/8 of the watch time right there. So if I got like 10 people to do it, it's an eighth right there. Have a great evening as well, J&K. Yeah. Oh no, I've seen your comments, David Lynn. I saw one I had missed like a couple days ago, and I try to look at my old videos in case I missed any notifications or anything about comments, and sometimes I don't put a comment after I like someone, and then I like someone's comment and stuff, and I don't comment right away or whatever because maybe I was just looking through the comments and I didn't have time or whatever, whatever reason I didn't put a comment yet, and yeah. Yeah, and those likes and comments help. And a lot of times it just depends when you upload. Yeah, it just depends on the video as well too, because like I have some videos that I've actually got over, 500 and all that, and I have one that has almost 2,000. I have one that's almost 5,000 views, and so just kind of depends. But I have not had one yet break like a ridiculous number, like get like 5 times more than my viewers. Have not had that yet. I'm hoping that at some point, I gotta get a video that gets like 10K that gets pushed. But that's another thing, guys. A lot of people say once you get your monetization, it helps get you pushed, helps get you cycled through the algorithm. So that's another reason why I want to get monetized, not just for that, to actually help my channel grow. Because that's another thing. It's just like I've heard that multiple times. Like even if, because like when you first get monetized, you're not gonna make any money. Like, I mean, unless you're actually getting like legit views. Yeah, yeah. But in general, like you have to have $100 threshold. 1,000 views is like $1, $2, depends whatever it is. It varies, but 1,000 views on a video is not going to get you anything. I mean, that would mean if you get 1,000 views, you need to make 100 videos or 50 videos if it's $2. 50 videos to get $100. So I just want to make that clear. Like, but at the same time, it helps. My understanding is it helps cycle you through the algorithm. So maybe potentially maybe this month, say you get monetized September 1st, and then by October 1st, maybe you're going to go from, let's say you're averaging 500 views a video, you might go to 700, in a week, and then maybe you'll get to 1,000, you'll double it. And I don't know to what extent it helps, but I've heard it pretty much several times, so that it helps. AKFA, but if you don't really own the rights to certain content, that's your choice. Because like if it's at a private event, it's kind of an iffy one to post in the first place. But yeah. I'm not sure what kind of wrestling, like if it was like a school or whatever, but that was never questioned. Yeah, a lot of people do that kind of stuff, and sometimes it's fun, sometimes not. It just depends, especially if there's music. What was it, WWE? Yeah. Well, I can just say that. I mean, it's your choice, but I mean, it's not. You're not supposed to post that. I mean, per the rules, okay? I don't mean like, not. It's your channel. Do what you want. I don't mean to say anything, but like per the rules, you're not allowed to. Like in that kind of context. Now, I mean, it's kind of a private matter between you and them, and if they say nothing, and that's a whole other thing, But if your video were to, that's one thing like they say is like if your video is to go viral, then it's gonna maybe get noticed by said company, and then it's gonna get taken down. So, you know. Yeah, David, that's oftentimes how it works, and they have you know, they can watch what they want, at the end of the day. So that's just how it works. A lot of people aren't going to watch someone's content just because they subscribe to them. A lot of people like just kind of click there, like, oh, this video is really cool, and then then the rest of your videos have nothing to do with it. So like maybe you made a video like per se on wrestling, and then all your other videos are on something else. So maybe you gained say 100 people, and but they're not. They may or may not. They're going to be less likely to watch the content because it was unrelated at the end of the day. So like if you do food and then you switch to swimming, and then your swimming gets 100,000 views, you may even want to switch to swimming now. It just depends because your viewership's there. But if your heart's not, then you know. Right, AK Fabe. So yeah. That's another thing, mana, But at the same time, like, you can't, if you have videos that you can't monetize, that could also hurt your algorithm as well. But I mean, it could hurt you too. But I mean, if it's where all your views are, then it's probably fine. Probably a good thing to have it there. Maybe, So I don't work for them, so I can't say everything. But I do watch a lot of creator videos, and so sometimes it's hard calls sometimes. But at the end of the day, what it's about is keeping at it. You gotta keep at what you do, and get better and better. Yeah, dude. It's about right. Jeez. Sorry about that, guys. I just muted for a moment because it was pretty loud. I know it's never as loud on you guys' end as it would be for the person there. Because there's some filtering, but. How you doing, Eddie-chan? But guys, for reference, you can't say subscriber when you're writing. Like, okay, cool. That one atomic shrimp and I do about. How you doing, Jaime? Yeah, so I was just talking about the ration meetup I want to do, and so I was having some ideas. So basically, people don't want to pay up front, like a door charge is what I'm getting from a lot of people. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm okay with spending a few $100s and like losing a few $100s. That's fine, but I can't do like that kind of meetup where it's gonna cost me like hundreds of dollars and you know what I mean. So I could do something like a grill out at a park. But what I was thinking is there's a couple local like places that I can have the event at that are like kind of like manufacturers of rations. And so I'm going to try contacting some of those places and maybe if they could do like a factory tour, that would totally be enough to get a lot of people to come out. So I could do that and like a grill out after. And I'm not sure because I really want to make it a 2 day event because a lot of people, like just as I suspected, a lot of people really wanted the thing they went to be a 2 day event. Because I remember like when we were at the vending convention, like people say like 3 days. So I think even a 3 day event is possible now. I don't have probably the means for that, but for like to just do like that. But what I could do is 2 day event. Maybe I can even there's two different places I'm looking at, so maybe if both say yes, I could even do both of them. One day this and one day the other. Um, or I could I could push them into the same day, but I feel like people would like it to be a 2 day thing. So I think it'd be fine to make it 2 days and just spread it out like that. David Lynn, there's actually a secondary definition of that, so definitely. So it's actually there's a secondary definition, and I don't know if you realize that. It also means to bother, because if you look at also in Spanish, it actually just means to bother. So the common modern definition, yes, is that, but this is a secondary definition, and I'm not sure exactly what he meant by it, but it's not necessarily what he meant. Yeah, I've been planning to do this since like February or something is when I really got the idea in my head. And then someone else made a ration meetup. It just happened like a week ago. But I had been wanting to do it since before that, and I couldn't make this one. I couldn't make it out there, so I was like, well, now I'm doubly convinced that I want to do my own. So I think it'd be a very good experience as far as learning how to make meetings and stuff. So I think it'd be a good experience on my part as well. So and also it's good for getting to meet people from YouTube and some good footage and all that, and it'd be pretty good experience. So I I definitely wanted to even out the cost, but I get a pretty strong consensus that nobody wants to pay. Maybe some people, but people don't want to pay even $10. So I think it's just maybe I can sell some shirts or something. But so I'll see if I don't know. But like the other place that did it was giving out free shirts and stuff. So it's hard to when someone else already did that. It's hard to then say like, hey, my event isn't free. So I don't know. That's a very good question, Jaime, that I can't answer. Like I can only say there's like 5 people who I am pretty solidly thinking would make it out. Only 5 I know at this moment, and I'm not trying to make it a massive event because I don't think I really have the pull for it with my count. But I mean, maybe I could even take out an ad or something or whatever it takes. Okay, AKP, what about this? Optional donation. And I would say that the donation goes to, and I would explain what it goes to. And I don't, maybe donation is not the right word because people will think of it as like charity. But I mean, it'd be cool if things went to charity maybe too. But what I mean is maybe like if I got more than I used or something in that case, or I don't know. Anyway, that's so what if I said like optional fundraising? How about fundraising? If I say fundraising, then maybe that's more agreeable term. So if I say fundraising for ration event, and the purpose of this fundraising would be to pay for foods and stuff like that, and also yeah, I don't know if like Oregon Freeze Dry would want to charge, or if they'd be more than happy to have people at the factory, or if they're not interested in people having a tour. Maybe they're they don't want some of their information getting out, or this is like cameras. I don't know. You can never know. I can't say. So yeah, I need to go ahead and talk to them in Epicenter. Uh, was it Bob Epicenter? Something like that. Let's see, Epicenter Brian. That's right. So I need to talk to them and see maybe they're interested, and there's probably some other group or something out here that's also doing stuff with rations. So if I can talk to a few people and get some events going, if I get 3 people on board, maybe I can easily make that 2-day thing happen. Because 2 events, and maybe it might be a little hard push, but I could also say like, hey, today the first day is Oregon freeze try and then a grow, and then I could say the second day is going to be Epicenter Brian. So yeah, absolutely, David. I've been hearing about that. I talked to someone. I don't know. Was it? I don't think it was AKV. Was it? Was it? I talked to someone. I have the messages still somewhere. Anyway, in my thing, I had been talking to some people like about, there's a, if I can get past a certain threshold, like 20 people, I think it's possible. I mean, I have 1,400 people who 1,400 some subscribers. And hey, how you doing, Judea's life? Awesome to see you here. If I get some like if I mean, it's not even 1%, was it? Oh well, that's like 2%. If I get like 2% of my viewers to come, but like let's say I even get 1% of my viewers, and then I get like some non-subscribers, like someone brings their, I don't know, spouse or whatever. So space for $50. Yeah, I've even there's some places like I think the college would even do it for free, and also this other place around here also might do it for free. But I don't. Yeah, so I mean it's possible. Because I did actually talk to a couple places, so there's maybe some places I could even do it free, but but at the same time I want it to be the best experience possible, and I don't know if those free locations, though they might be fine, might not be the best possible. So there's not going to be kind of I want to make sure it's a really good event. Yeah, I saw that video as well. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys think you guys? I would imagine I could get 20 people, right? I don't see why not. If I call around some like hotels and stuff, maybe. But also there's Airbnb. There's Airbnbs that'll have like up to 8 people. So I could even, if I can't get 20 people, I can probably get just a big Airbnb and like not everyone's like going to be willing to share a place. And so like let's say 12 people are coming and 7 want to be at the Airbnb and there's 8 spots, then maybe you know, maybe that's how it works too. So there's alternatives. I would like to try to condense people together though. If I could get everyone in the same hotel or same general area of hotels, that'd be nice. Because then it could help lower the costs for everyone and also help build that camaraderie. Because I think people are going to want to be around each other. It's kind of the purpose. Um, so the more I can compact people together during those 2 days, the better. Portland. Portland. So, like I said, I could potentially do Seattle as well. I want to keep it local because I've been thinking about it and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, you should do a city that's super popular." It's like, yeah, but then I have to organize and stuff, and how am I going to have my car and all this stuff? And it's just like I'm already living near a city, so why would I, do that? It just doesn't make sense to me. The more I thought about it, the less it made sense. So local is the way to go. I would love to go to Voodoo Donuts. Absolutely, yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, the long wait says nothing. The donuts will, because I mean, good things come to those who wait, right? You have a new picture though. I noticed, Eri-chan. So I think a lot of people think of Seattle before they think of Portland. Does that sound about correct, guys? But I don't think Portland's a hard sell though. I always wanted to go to Paris. Okay. Yeah, I actually went to Paris last just about 11 months ago. I went to Paris. You'd rather go to Portland. There you go. So, I mean, is that somewhere you'd actually legitimately want to be like, hey, I'm getting to go to Portland, I'm excited? Or is it, hey, I'm going to this one city and I'll meet all these awesome people? So, there you go. Let's see here. Now, I can you actually hear me, Eddie-chan? Number 7. I don't think Eddie-chan can hear me. Yeah, anyway. So she's just reading the chat. Because I noticed, because it was like, I said I went to Paris, and okay, I got it. You're just reading the chat. Got it. Cool. Um, Gotta catch some sleep. Oh, I was like, okay, I just was kind of confused because like when I said the Paris thing and then you didn't respond until I messaged. So I wasn't sure, like maybe you just missed it or you didn't want to, you just listening. I wasn't sure. I was confused. Okay, anyway. So, anyway, besides that, guys, like, if you guys can help me out, if you guys watch that playlist, and also, um, if you have any more ideas, like on what kind of like you'd like to see in an event, or if you want to send fan mail, I'm actually checking the fan mail tomorrow, but I plan to check it. It's not going to be such a long gap. It was kind of like the initial gap, so I also figured that's going to be the longest delay between people sending as well. But also, yeah, so I'll try to check it again like early September, and then I'll check, probably 3 times in September rather than just checking once because I got the mailbox, August 5th or whatever it was. So it's been like 2.5 weeks I haven't checked it. So, because I know, or 2 weeks or whatever it was. Anyway, yeah. So, guys, I think I'm going to end this in just a few minutes. So I have some more ration reviews. One more ration review coming. I also have an interesting thing. I have some fish from. Actually, had flown out here from Africa. I'm I think posting that one as well. And so it's fermented fish from Africa, from Ghana in specific. So I'm going to try that. I should have already tried it because like I already got it like a week ago, so I need to try that maybe today actually. Before though it's fermented, it's like still you know fresher the better. The soonest from the time something was made. Though some foods are better when they're older. I'm going to assume that's not the case. That's only for a few exceptions. Yeah. So the type of fish I've never seen on YouTube. I actually literally looked it up and no one has it posted. So I was like, this is awesome. So fermented fish. So I'm trying to do a bunch of I'm going to make a bunch of fermented foods videos. I made a couple fermented food videos on my T channel. I have one coming up. I was editing it up till very early this morning. I just didn't quite finish, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to, because I'm gonna have to double check, and if I'm double checking at 5 a.m., I might like totally miss things and stuff. So I had mostly finished, but I'm gonna finish editing that and have it up hopefully within the next hour. Yeah, about 1 hour. I hope to have it up. Yeah. So if you guys do the awesome favor of, if you want to watch that playlist and make some comments, some likes on those, it'd be awesome. Because as soon as I get to monetize, like I also have some events I plan to do, like a 24-hour live and so on. So that I plan to do the 24-hour live right after I monetize. So let's say I monetize September 30th. I'll try to have the event, maybe a week later or something like that. I'm hoping that I can monetize by October. At this point, it's always been pushed back more and more because I thought I was gonna hit it like in August 1st, and then it's like, yeah, it's never happens that way. But I'm gonna keep pushing, like I can keep at it. Like I said, it also helps in the algorithm. Per a lot of content makers, like they're saying that it helps, and so on. So you don't know much about tea, but you can learn about tea with me. I know a good amount about tea, but like I say, kind of is that I'm not an expert. However, I totally want to be an expert. I'm not going to. I'm going to try my very best to learn as much as I can because I want to learn like the biochemistry and blah 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 specific to tea. I have a tea plant right on my porch. Actually, couldn't figure out which varietal it is, so I'm sure as I learn a little more, I'll be able to narrow it down. Because on the catalog, it just doesn't say. I'm probably going to go ahead and message them and ask, hey, what kind of type? What type is this? Because like a lot of the other plants, they sell they say what variety is, and this one just doesn't say. So yeah. Um, yeah, it just depends. Depends on the level of quality of content and the the interest in your topic, you know, luck, um, how you present things, appearance, um, how it's just coloration. Like sometimes like a lot of colors can be awesome, and sometimes not. It just depends on your audience and stuff. So background, all that, quality of camera. Oh no, it's not salmon. Uh, this one I'm gonna have to double look it up exactly what the name is and all that. I'm gonna look up more details on it. That's part of the reason why I looked it up on YouTube was to see how many details I could get. I'm gonna check exactly. There we go. It is. Either way, Oh, here it is. Momone. That's what it's called. Okay, so I take it back. There are videos on it on YouTube, but not very many. Seems. I think I spelled it the other two writings for it apparently, and I spelled it the other way this time. I think. See one video on it so far. So yeah. If I get a donation at all, it'll go toward better. I sell my GoPro. I use an LG V40. Thank you. Yes, very long name for a phone. But I plan to get a camera. Um, from what I've looked at, yes, you can get a really much better camera for use at home for $700 than a typical phone. However, the margin isn't great enough to me, so I think that I'm going to get a camera at least like $1,200, and that way it'll be, because I was thinking just over 1,000, but I looked more into it, and like thing is, you start to get into good cameras around like 1,000 or something, but it's really not going to get you the good camera. It's going to get you started into the good cameras. You know what I mean? So of course, you know, the more you pay, the better options get available. But I think right around 1,200 would be something that could last me a couple of years. And yeah, I want something that I can use for like if I have a business and all that stuff. Like I can actually take real photos, legit, you know, and all that kinds of stuff. So because I have a T channel and stuff. So if I'm going to be using it for tons of purposes, like if I just get some decent camera, that's totally different than getting a real camera that I can actually use for like putting pictures on my websites or whatever. Because I've been wanting to get a website for about a year now. I just started a couple, but I just backed off because I just didn't really have the following on YouTube that I wanted in order to really start a website. So once I get to maybe like 10K or something, it'll be more practical. Yes. So I do plan to get a website in the next, hopefully next year. We'll see. I hope to hit 10K next year. I think it's very possible because it might sound like a long way from where I am now, but the bigger you are, that it starts to pick up, you know, and you start learning some things and all that. So I think I can totally hit 10K next year. What I want to say, it could be, I could hit 100K next year. I could hit 5,000. You know, it's just what I don't plan to. I'm not gonna let myself, you know, go a full year like I did this time. Like, because I mean, we're talking about me being 2 years on YouTube you know, in half a year, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, well, I'm only going to have been monetized, but I'm not going to have gotten like a true audience size by that point. So I'm like, I can't wait. I can't let like year 3 be the same story again. Like, yeah, I'm getting. Yeah, I don't want to. I can't let 3 years go by. So I gotta be a little more preemptive and spending some money in order to actually get things going, and you know, gotta put effort, and you know, it's not just all work. It's the equipment you use and the ideas you come up with, you know. And so I want to, you know, invest more into what I'm doing. Yeah, only really started 6 months ago. Yeah, I mean, I had my first video too was back in 2010, but I only posted one, which actually became popular. Funny enough, because it had um, been at like 4.5 thousand when I started my channel. So now it's at like 4.7. Got a couple hundred more views, but that's about it since I started my channel. And yeah, I changed the audio track and all that, and so they pretty much destroyed the video's value, but still, I had that video going, and sometimes you start something and it's not the time yet, or whatever. I really wish I had started back then because I don't think it'd be the case. I think I'd be at easily, like 100K, 500K because it was much quicker to grow then as well. You know, not back in like too long ago because having like a million subscribers is like, now there's literally people who hit a million every single day, which sounds like astronomical to me, you know, but I know that for a lot of people, millions nothing now. It really is. It's like 10 million. That's when it's like, wow, you got 10 million. But a million is a dime in the dozen now, apparently. Dime in the dozen I would like to be, but dime in the dozen nonetheless. Um, Again, I don't think the ads, like, I don't think people quite. I mean, when it comes to ads, there's $100 to release. If you get 5,000 views, that's $5. So they're not going to release anything. So if you're making 1,000 views a month, or whatever, like I don't think people quite get that. Like it wasn't really that much harder. Like people on that specific aspect. Now with some of the regulations on like what you can and can't say and all those things, yeah, that's a whole nother story. And like people, like it's harder to monetize and stuff like on even if you meet the requirements. So, but as far as that, I just don't think that's really the factor. Um, because those watch hours, like a big thing on that is like you're not going to at 4,000, 1,000, you're not going to make a monthly check at all. um the, I mean, maybe if you're making 30 videos a month and you're getting like thousand views each, maybe. I mean, a few thousand views each, then yeah, maybe. But um it definitely takes some time. Like not until you're getting like to 10K are you actually going to get um actual money, and not it's not going to be like rich. You're not going to be getting like, oh, I get $1,000 from YouTube a month, I'm at 10K. It's like, no, it's like, hey, I actually got $100 this month and next month I'm getting 112. That's kind of what it's like. Your private domain, yeah. And there's also other ways. A lot of people are starting to even not monetize their videos at all, which has its own little risk because with the algorithm, it might say like, oh well, these videos aren't going to get pushed as much. But either way, some people aren't doing it, and even if they are monetizing, that's not their main source. It's that they're selling maybe their shirts or something. So a lot of times that's the case where people actually make some money. Hey again, Playmaker. Playmaker, I think I talked about this too. More live streams is not going to be good for me because what I found out is I did some polls and also I talked to a bunch of people and I was watching my numbers and people were not liking that I was doing too many streams. So I think once a week is good. I need to if I could do once a week and that's about it because also what was happening is I was starting to run out of things to talk about and it was starting to run on and get a little too much. And so as I would like to do 7 days a week, I would actually do it, but I just don't think it was actually being effective. A lot of people want to see uploads. The majority of people want to see uploads rather than live streams. Though I think like 1 in 3 people or something did say they prefer lives. The majority didn't, and the people who said they, yeah, and so I mean, I do get more watch time from these, but at the same time, they hurt some of my other videos. So, and if you do too many lives, they don't get promoted after they're posted. So, I've looked into time frames as well, David. I've been watching those for since I pretty much started. Roughly around 7 minutes is seems to be about my peak retention. So, because like it's kind of you have to balance how many views and how much watch time you're going to get for how many minutes you upload. So if you get 5 minutes and you get an 80% retention rate, yeah, that's great. And then you can say, well, okay, let's do 6 minutes, and then let's say you get a 70% retention rate or whatever, and then it becomes like the same as amount of time, and it's like, well, why did I make the extra minute of footage? Maybe you didn't need to. Um, Now, if you do 10 minutes and it's you gotta kind of, and maybe you have a lower retention rate, but over time, overall, you have more watch time. Maybe it's fine. It just kind of depends, and at the end of the day, it's kind of what kind of content are you actually putting out, and like, do people actually want to see it? Is it something that people are actually going to share? And the answer is maybe they will, maybe they won't. If it's something really cool, like, hey, did you see Wandering Marine? Or wandering veteran, he just ate this and it's like, no, that's weird, why do you do that? I don't know. And then they're like, maybe I'll check the video, and then they go home and they watch it. Whereas if you just had another ration, just a random ration that like people have already reviewed, maybe they'll watch it and they're not going to say anything to anybody. They're not gonna, no one's gonna post it on their social media or anything like that, or so. It's true, AK Fave, that he does have a lot of 20-30 minute videos. Um, it depends on how you present, and sometimes people might do a 20-30 minute video. That doesn't mean that just because they posted it doesn't mean that that necessarily was going to get them the highest retention rate. Because maybe if he did 15-minute videos, maybe he would get a higher retention rate. I don't know, specific to him, but it just kind of depends. So you may well be right. I haven't really tried many 20-minute videos. I am posting a 20-minute video not on this channel but on T channel, and we'll see how it works because it'll be roughly right around 20 minutes because I'm about 3/4 of the way editing and it's still at like 21 minutes. So see, maybe it goes down to 16, maybe stays just over 20. We'll see. Depends how many cuts I have to make. Yeah, and also there's a lot of loyalty behind some of these guys, and people sometimes are watching for the person who's presenting more than the actual content as well. So I know some people watch me because they want to watch me. And so there's like just some people watch almost it's seemingly regardless of what I post at this point. For certain people, it's kind of like it's kind of how it works. Like I know like Zeno like watches like all my lives, just like he just watches all of them. It's just he just does. Um, I could probably live stream my ceiling fan, and Xeno Saga would watch. I'm hoping Xeno Saga's on here because uh, I'm not sure if he's on here at this moment. A lot of times he's like in the background a little bit, just kind of listening or something. But I don't know. Either way, I think Xeno Saga would be the one to watch a live stream of his ceiling fan if it's on my channel. I'm just messing with you, bro. Xeno's awesome. Anyway, let's see here. Because of who you am, they don't even like MREs. Yeah, I have some people who don't care about MREs. Like, I think Eddie-chan, I think she's interested in rations a little bit, but I think she more just I don't know for whatever reason she likes to watch what I'm making, and that's cool. I think she prefers live streams over uploads based on the what I'm seeing, and so that's just how it goes. Like some people like certain things or whatever. And yeah. Sears closing. Maybe I talked about that on live, I think, maybe, but I'm not sure what you're talking about, David. Oh, we're talking about EK Fab. Okay. Yeah, I knew about that one closing for a while. I think they were going under for quite a while. Just like Payless. Payless was going on for quite a while. Like have they actually closed out now, like permanently? Because I saw a lot of locations were, but are they actually under? Because sometimes companies don't fully go out. Like people think Blockbuster no longer exists. That is incorrect. I believe they have two locations. A lot of videos say they have a last location and they'll say it's in Alaska, and the other ones will say it's in Bend. I believe they have two locations. I could be mistaken, but um, I'm pretty confident on that because I've consistently seen people say last location, but there's two. It's like what? But I know there's one in Bend. I plan to actually go there. Okay, I get it now. There, it is the last location in Bend, Oregon, because the last one's just closed, like last year, so that explains it. Okay, that's why it was kind of contradictory. That makes more sense. Okay, so there's in Oregon here, just like 5 hours or whatever, from Portland. There's one more location. I plan to go to it. I was thinking to make a video about it, but I'm not sure if we're gonna make a video about it or just visit. We'll see. I think it'd be just such a short video that I'm not sure because I'm not sure if they'll let me film there or not or how that works. Wait, Bon Ton, isn't that a that's a real city? Because they do you know this the video the series True Blood? I think that's where they were. It was something similar to that name or that name, correctly. Bought the rights to her name. Yeah, that's that happened with like Twinkies or something like that. What was it one of the Hostess products? It was Twinkies or yeah, I want to say Twinkies. That someone bought them out, bought the rights and made their own. I mean, there's of course a thousand examples of this. There's a kind of an interesting story about Dr. Pepper and Cadbury Schweppes or Cadbury now. Um, a lot of times, like companies make like their name like familiar, but they kind of alter it. So like, how about this, guys? What's the full name of KFC? What's the full name of KFC, guys? And what is it now in kayfabe? Like, I'm not sure this one. Yeah, I don't know the specific restaurant though, but yeah. I'll wondering. What? Please say a few words on internet. I am not exactly sure what you're saying, David, but okay. I almost get what you're saying, but yeah. I mean, comment on people's videos. Yeah, that's good. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Yeah, actually, the full name of KFC is KFC. It was a trick. They literally are just KFC now. They're not Kentucky Fried Chicken because my understanding is that the state actually reserved the name, so Kentucky's actually like trademarked um, by Kentucky, and so Kentucky Fried Chicken was like, okay, we're KFC now, because people were already calling them KFC and it was already written and stuff, and so I think they probably altered their signs or something, but yeah, they just were like, yeah, people didn't even notice because it was already called oftentimes KFC instead. So just KFC. I mean, David, I mean, it's a good thing definitely for sure to reply to comments, but I mean, I can't say why someone would or wouldn't reply because sometimes people are. I don't know. It just depends. But I definitely understand why when people have a big channel and they don't reply to everyone. But I mean, I know some people who have like 100,000 and they don't. What they do is instead of replying to all the comments because it gets too much. They'll start to um, they'll like and heart everyone's comment, and so that way it's like, hey, I read everyone's comment, and then when they see a particularly interesting or pertinent one to something, then they go ahead and comment on that. So that's what, like, I don't want to remotely anytime soon not be replying to everyone's comment or to the vast majority of comments. Might miss some here and there or whatever, but I try to go back and look. And but once I have like say 300 videos and I have say 10K viewers, I might, there might be certain times I might be kind of busy and just go, okay, well, I'm just gonna heart and like everyone, and reply to a couple. I don't know, just making up a number here, but it just depends. But I plan to acknowledge people as long as I have the time. Um, but I want to acknowledge people as much as I can, absolutely. And I think it's a very good thing, and I plan to keep at it. I just can't say later down the line like I can always keep that up. I mean, there's going to be a point. I hope to make it to 1 million and all these things. So I know at 1 million, I cannot possibly fathom myself. If I put up a video like 3 times a week and then having 10,000, 30,000 comments for that week, that sounds too much. Even now, like when I get like 30 comments, sometimes it takes like, it's not like super long, but it takes a while to come up with a response to everyone. 'Cause sometimes people say very specific questions. Sometimes people are like, "Hey, this is awesome." It's like, okay, that's easy, you know. But I try not to cookie cutter too much, with thank you for viewing or whatever. So I try to mix it up a little bit. Mm. Ah, okay. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. So if you guys want, it would be super helpful if you guys watch through the videos. I have a playlist down there, and if you want to send any fan mail, that's more than welcome. But anyway, as far as the playlist, that's kind of one of the things I know they say don't over focus on like one thing or whatever, but the playlist is like that's really going to be my solution to getting the watch time. Like if I can get people to watch the content that's already there, like that's all the watch time I need. Um, if I literally got if literally 10% of all my viewers watch my playlist, like that would be it. Done. you know. So if I can get something like that to happen, then then I get all my watch time, and then also I can do my 24-hour live, and also be able to hopefully it can definitely help with that meetup, with I get more exposure to people and stuff, so that everything goes in a cycle. Like the more viewers you get there's just a ton of other side things. So. You guys, also, if you check that out. It's a referral code for Airbnb. All right, take care, AK Fabe. Yeah, I'm not trying to put any pressure on any particular person. Like, I don't mean like, hey, David, you go watch it. No, but like, if I can convince like 10% of people to go through or whatever, not even 10%, it's like, not even, what I said, like 10 people would get, or how many would it take. I'm guessing I have, say 20 hours. Okay, so yeah, if I had 10% of people watch all my videos, I would get it. Lost my signal, I'm back. Alright, that's cool. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to keep trying and pushing because I really like. It's not just about like financial or anything. Like I legit making videos, but I also do want to expand my reach and stuff. So like it actually, that I start actually getting out there and I can expand onto other platforms with the actual with the ability to actually make a presence. And I want to do some cool projects and stuff. Um it's like I have a lot riding on this kind of type deal. You know what I mean? Like I'm really how I say I'm really gonna try going all out and take the risk that I get all these equipment and stuff and maybe things don't go so well on this platform. But I'm gonna keep trying at it. I'm gonna try to expand onto Twitch right now. Haven't been making videos lately because my first ones really weren't getting much video views. But I'm going to try some games out there because really games are more popular on there than IRL. But I mean, actually, you know what? If any of you guys do want to watch me on Twitch, are you, any of you guys actually my Twitch follower? It's actually called a follower there. A subscriber is follower on Twitch. So I could go live on Twitch right now as well for like half an hour. So yeah. All right. So oh, I've already looked into that, David Lynn. I have already been looking up at sets. That's one thing. Like, I really do want a camera, but I want to work on audio first. And not that my audio is bad. I got a pretty decent lavalier, but I want to work on audio and then in lighting and stuff. I want to work on the things that are a little more affordable first. You know, you can get really, really nice audio for a few $100s. Um, and you get really nice lighting and all that. So I think I could get like all the side stuff I need for like the same price as the camera. And this camera I have already shoots 4K. So I mean, it's not like bad. It's actually above what my editor even allows me to do. Yeah, my editor requires a paid subscription to even upload in 1080p. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna get a subscription, I'm getting Adobe. I'm not getting your subscription like when it's already. I think it was like $10 or something. Like if it was like $5 subscription, probably yeah. Like I have a subscription already. Like I already have KineMaster, so I'm already paying on that. I'm not gonna pay for two editors and not have like the best quality. If I'm gonna be spending $16 and I could literally spend four more and just have Premiere Pro as well, like so I'm getting Premiere Pro. So that's exactly what I'm doing next month. I'm switching to Premiere Pro in probably a week actually. Um, you might see that there's gonna be a drop in uploads because I'm gonna be like, what am I doing? I don't know how to do this, at first. But so if you see some drop in uploads, like, you know why? It's me like attempting to make a video and not knowing what I'm doing. I have a lavalier that's really awesome and it's great quality, but no. See here. Yeah, but all right. See here. Don't care about lighting or video edit being high def or anything. For me, I do because I think the better the quality, the more likely people are to view. I can also be more proud of my video because I'm like, hey, I put a lot of effort into it, and I mean, the equipment you use, there's also more steps you have to do. Once you get like, you have to get better lenses, and you have to learn how to use the lenses and all those things. So it's like equipment doesn't work itself. So I just think it's all about putting the best production I can, give the best content out. It's my legacy per se. I want to give the best legacy I can, and I really care about this. Like I legitimately want this as an avenue in my life. So it's yeah, it's something I actually am quite serious about. Like I mean the the growth of the channel doesn't reflect it, but my passion does, or something like that. So, all right. So anyway, guys. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't shared out some content, maybe you guys can drop a post on social media, whatever. You don't have to, if you like to. And then also, I'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. Any last comments? I'll check just for a moment. I'll give a slight pause because I know there's a delay. It's not really evening here, but It's close enough. All right. Good night, everyone.